I just allow my audio.
But he tried on his iPhone, and then he tried on his M1 Mac, whatever it is.
Double You could just stop.
It's Lugcast.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
Somebody to use Lugcast.
Hang on. Okay.
Oh God. Come on, Honkey.
Welcome. Hey, I'm leaving it in. Welcome to episode 242 of the Linux Lugcast. And that's what you get for an opener. We're an open podcast / lug that meets every 9 p.m. Eastern every first and third Friday of the month using Mumble. Except for this week when we're recording on the last Friday of the month. Is it the last Friday of the month? Yes, last Friday of the month. Because of scheduling issues.
Yeah.
I completely lost where I was.
I can
if you have any questions, comments, or topics you'd like us to discuss and are unable to join us live during this show, because we are an open podcast, which means that anybody can just join us and mumble at any time. There is a link to the Mumble server on the linuxlugcast.com website. We actually is the mobile, not the mobile web, the web Mumble still working?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Show me the link for that.
I got to put that link somewhere because
I think it's called lugcastweb. I think all one word. .minnix.dev.
Yeah, and I got to remember to when I post this episode, I got to take down that notice about us recording today instead of on a different day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're unable to join us live during the show, because anybody who has access to Mumble or apparently even a web browser can join us live during the show, you can send us an email at feedback@linuxlugcast.com. We have a Peertube YouTube channel where you can see us. Not live. You can only see us with the recording afterwards that Danny does. And we have...
You can jump on Jitsi if you join the show.
Sure. If you join us live, you can jump on Jitsi, but it's not on Peertube or we're not streaming live to Peertube or YouTube right now.
I need to figure that out, because I think Peertube has streaming built in. I know YouTube does.
Right.
You can do that with OBS, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Like 5 minutes of setup.
Go ahead, Honkey, sorry.
Well, that's fine. We also have a Matrix room where we sit around and talk about stuff. And we also have a Lemmy group where we post things. Well, mostly Danny posts things. I haven't posted anything in a long time.
Called a community.
It is like 99% Danny. Like 99.5% Danny with a little 0.5 percentage of me. And no people are commenting in there. Other people have joined the group and commenting, but nobody else really posts anything. It's just all the content is just pure Danny. I'm your host for this evening, Honkey Magoo. With us tonight is Joe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Minnix.
I'm here.
Mortency.
Good evening.
And Netminer.
Forgot somebody.
Yeah, I skipped Lugbot on purpose.
Hello, human garbage. Your boy Lugbot has returned.
Hey.
We got a new voice.
Yes, did the upgraded his artificial intelligence voice module, and now you can talk to him.
Is Netminer there?
Here. Yes, I'm here. I just had to get something to drink. Coca-Cola. Sorry, my medications veto anything truly fun.
Been working on Lugbot, getting them back up to speed.
It's a shame. It's a shame when someone's creation surpasses the creator.
He is much smarter than me now.
Is somebody playing around with the web version?
Yeah, I got a buddy that's trying to connect to it, and I'm able to connect to it. But when he does it, it's coming up as connecting to server, and then connection error, add stream is not a function.
Oh, let me see.
But I'm able to connect to it just fine.
Did he,
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Hello.
Oh my. Oh my.
Okay. It's enough. It works.
Well, that was trippy.
Oh, Honkey, you okay?
I'm all right.
I know you had some problems last time.
Yeah.
You feeling better?
Oh yeah, a lot better since then.
Oh, doesn't sound like it.
This is what Lugbot is for.
Honkey, you need to take a break, or that much
It's all right.
okay?
I'll just bring you guys along with me.
Okay. All right, just make sure you feel okay. Oh man, I don't think you're okay. Sound like it.
It was me.
No. Do you want to tell us anything? Or... Can he connect yet? I can.
He says,
crazy.
yeah, I had joined, and so I can connect. And now he says that he's unable to connect through his phone and through his laptop.
But not on the web browser.
But he's using Apple.
I find this conversation extremely uninteresting.
Okay, well, I have to hold on for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, was that you that had joined the channel, Danny?
Yeah, through the web interface, it works.
Well, I was able to, like I said, I was able to jump on.
Just an issue with Safari?
No,
I just allow my audio.
Well, he tried on his iPhone, and then he tried on his M1 Mac, whatever it is.
Double
Blah.
You could just stop it.
It's Lugbot.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
Somebody you love.
Hang on. Okay.
Oh God.
That sounded cool.
It sounded like we were watching the Goonies.
Neat.
All right. So now Netminer is definitely muted.
Here.
Oh, he's just muted.
Well, anything
Ask
else
him if he-
you guys been working on?
I have been trying to build a computer. So
You got the new AMD graphics card, right? And it wouldn't fit
Yeah.
Other case?
So I bought a. I decided I wanted to do stable diffusion. So I bought a computer. I bought a HP Elite desktop G3. They have a regular size and they have a mini size, and so I bought the regular desktop size, and it has slots for graphics cards and stuff. But the problem was the power supply for it. The power supply for it wasn't enough for the larger graphics card.
Oh, yeah.
But I had an older 2 gig graphics card, so I slapped that thing in there, and I got Stable Diffusion up and running, and it would work. I mean, it was relatively slow, but it would work. And when I would switch out workflows, the thing would crash when I'd switch out workflows. That's the only time I'd really get a crash out of it. And I wasn't able to make my own workflows or LoRa's or anything like that just because of it was running so slow. So I decided to. What's that?
That desktop, is that the horizontal form factor?
Hello?
The case?
No, I can show you the case. All the guts ripped out of it at this point, but
I used to have an HP Elite desktop, but it was a horizontal form factor.
It's
just a regular case. Okay.
Yeah, it's a regular case, but it's a smaller. I mean, it's smaller than just like a regular ATX. It's like an ATX Mini or something like that. But the power supply on it was only like 250. So I wound up buying a case and a nice 600 watt power supply, and I moved the G2 over and the G3 over, and just pulled the motherboard out, and it was a pain because the motherboard didn't have the heatsink on it was screwed into the case itself, so I had to try to get something to kind of keep the heatsink on to the motherboard. And then I had there was a power issue with apparently the G3 has like this extra little power cord that it needed, and it would not work with a different power supply because I'll show you. Let's see if I can.
When you say an extra power cord, do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, I can show you actually it's got this extra little 7-pin thing. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. This little.
It goes to the MOBO?
It goes to the motherboard, yeah. So it's got the regular 4-pin that goes onto the motherboard, and then it's got this little one that connects to there too. So there was an adapter, but the adapter was only for the. It's probably in the case right now. Yeah, but the adapter only works with which I found out later, only works with the G2. Because there's an Elite Desktop G2 and a G3. So, but this is there's an adapter for it, but this only works with the G2, and it's a 6-pin. So, it connects to the 24 and gives you the 4 and then a 6-pin.
Okay, everybody say hi to Mo.
Hi, Mo.
What's up, Mo?
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Joe, for inviting me.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for hosting this. Looks dope.
Cool. So,
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. There's Eric.
Hey. There we go.
You're a little blown out there, buddy.
Am I? Okay.
Get a hum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I even for a while I put the old power supply back in just so I can, go back to using Stable Diffusion, just in the new case. So I bought the G2 motherboard just because I know that would work, and I already got the adapter for it. But when I did, I just bought it recently. And apparently I accidentally bought the mini version instead of the regular desktop. So I just sent that back, and I have the regular version coming. I think it's supposed to show up tomorrow. So hopefully around tomorrow or Sunday, I should be able to put everything together, actually put in the new GPU, and hopefully, because I have all the crap all spread out all over here. I just want to get it all put into the computer, into the motherboard, and then put it all in the case, and just get rid of all the old crap and throw all that shit away.
But you did have it running at one time.
Yes, not with the new power supply, but with an old one, yeah. And with the other graphics card.
Not the new graphics card?
Not with the new graphics card,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Because I couldn't, it was the power supply.
Yeah, the old graphics card, what was that? Was that one you already had, or what?
Yeah.
Do you remember how much video RAM it had?
Yeah, 2 gigs.
Oh, that's why, yeah.
Yeah, but which it worked. Like if I can, so I can change. I downloaded some workflows and I changed them out, and then I would, but I can't change it. I would have to. You put the workflows into a directory. I would, if I just swap them out, like swapped out what's in that directory that it searches for the workflows, then it'll find it automatically and load it up, and it'll work just fine. But the problem is if I try to switch it live, it'll just crash. It'll crash the whole system. It'll just crash Stable Diffusion. So I just wound up having to reset the computer and then
let's see,
come back up. And
yeah, mine also has 2 gigabytes of VRAM. My video card I was running it on, so I had to set an option to use something to add more RAM. I had to download more RAM for it. No, it was an option within Stable Diffusion. When you launch it, you can.
Right.
I forget what it is. What is it?
There was a low RAM option that you could put into Stable Diffusion. You got to put in the low RAM option.
And then there's another one that uses something else in place of VRAM. Another option. I can't remember what that was. But I had the same experience. It was very slow, but it worked. And it would crash sometimes, especially if more than one person was using it at a time.
I see. I never had anybody more than one person using it at a time.
I think me and Lovecraft were testing it, and he got some crashes, and I got some crashes too. But it just was. You really need that VRAM to.
Yeah.
But you know what's cool is they're coming out. If you just want something for Stable Diffusion, not as regular computer, like they have these new like little mini PCs. They have these NPUs on them, neural processing unit, and those are great for Stable Diffusion and for local LLMs and stuff like that. But I think the one I posted in the Lemmy subreddit was like $350. That's basically all it's used for. So you couldn't use it. I mean, it wouldn't be like a regular desktop.
I haven't spent much on this project really, besides the graphics card, which I spent probably around like $80, $90 on. The computer itself was
which graphics card?
Oh, hold on.
This is to generate furry porn, right?
That's right. If there's a website called Civiti, CIVITI, something like that. Hold on.
Civiti? I got one of their knives.
CIVIAI.
CVAI.
I have no idea. CIVITAI. You want to pronounce that one?
Civit AI?
Civati?
I think you would pronounce the AI. Well, what kind of website is it for one? Is it an AI website?
It deals with Stable Diffusion, where it has you can download models and workflows and LoRa's and
Civit AI.
they have all sorts of like workflows and models in there that let's just say you can make some interesting pictures with that.
Yeah, because they're not. I mean, you control the model, right? I mean, it's not. It's a model that you download. You don't run it on their server, correct?
Right. The workflow is basically just the
Civit AI. Okay, I see it. Put it in the show notes. And this is for Game Maker, RPG Maker. You
Well,
want
that's
to
the
generate
idea.
sprites and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to use it to help me generate some sprites and like character pictures and stuff like that. Plus, I really like using Stable Diffusion. I think it's a lot of fun.
It is fun. You know, there's like an art to text prompts, to get good text prompts. You know, to get what you want out of it. It can be difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it gets easier.
That and I just want to train my my own workflows and LoRa's and stuff like that, and just get some really cool looking pictures. It was an AMD Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabyte. That was the graphics card, Joe.
Say it one more time.
AMD Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabyte.
Okay. When was that made?
When? I don't know.
Because I had a 550, but I know I have had that for a long time.
Yeah, then the computer I bought was like $60, and the new motherboard I just got, it was like $18, and then I spent maybe 30. What was it? What did I spend on the case? Yeah, about $30 in the case, and I think about another $30 in the power supply.
You know, Joe's got all that just sitting in his garage in a big pile. Except for the graphics card, probably.
Yeah, I'm short on graphics cards.
I bet you got PSUs in there, and
I do have one
cases.
Power supply here, and no, I don't have any cases anymore. I got rid of all of them.
They take up a lot of space.
They do. They do. I have laptops galore. I mean, if you wanted to walk in and fix a laptop and walk out with it, you could.
I don't think a laptop would help in this situation, unless it had like some crazy graphics card on it.
Yeah. One that I have with a dedicated GPU is my gaming machine inside, and yeah, you can't have that one.
What else do you have? What else did you do, Honkey? Just that, yeah.
Basically just that. I've been working on that. Yeah.
I tested out Prusa Slicer.
Oh yeah?
So you're not using Cura anymore?
Well, I'm still using Cura. I decided to test out Prusa Slicer because I can't use the most recent version of Cura because my older graphics card won't run OpenGL2.
Right.
But the Prusa Slicer, which they have two versions, one that runs GTK2, one that runs GTK3, I was able to get the GTK2 version running. I did not test the GTK3. But it has Arachne built in, which is what I liked about the beta version of Cura that I'm still able to run. But I will say that the interface for Cura is a lot simpler to navigate.
Is it because you're just used to it more, or?
You know, it could be, but then again, I read reviews online saying where other people agree with me that Cura is just easier to use.
I haven't printed anything with the new glass bed.
No?
But I got it all ready to go.
You're stuck on glass bed?
Yeah, I'm stuck on... Well, I've got it all ready to go. It just needs me to get motivated and print something, yeah.
And get that bed unstuck.
Yeah, well, I don't think that bed's coming off. It's pretty stuck. So what I did was
you're gonna have
just
to crank it up to like 100 degrees or something.
I took the flexible magnetic bed off, and so it still has that magnetic coating on the metal plate, on the build plate, and I put the glass bed directly on top of that after I cleaned it really well. Cranked up the heat, I think to 70 or something. Let it cool and heat a few times, and then now it's just stuck, which I don't mind because that's what...
Oh, you will mind once that thing gets dirty enough that you need to take it off and wash it.
Why would it get dirty?
Because that's what happens.
You mean with old plastic and stuff?
plastic or hairspray or whatever else you need to get things to stick on.
Well, supposedly you don't need anything because it's got this coating on top.
I don't use anything anymore. I used to use the purple glue stick, but I haven't used that in a while. I haven't needed to.
I've been, I shouldn't need to use it on my PEI plates, but I end up having to use hairspray anyway to make things, even after washing them, even after rubbing them down with rubbing alcohol. Still something I just have to do, so it's not that big a deal. Everything still pops off when I'm done.
Yeah, it wasn't that big a deal. It was just, it made it a little bit taller, so I had to move that the switch a little bit. Other than that, then re-level it and everything. Oh, and that was basically the issue because it bows up, so it was like concave, and I don't know how that happened, but so I couldn't ever get anything printing level on it because it was such a harsh curvature towards the middle. Yeah, like an arch that it would start printing okay and then go to the side and just print like crap and then be too close to the nozzle and too far away.
Somebody was talking about that the other day on the Mattermost element room.
Thinking this will.
But that bed's not that difficult to replace.
Yeah, you were talking about it's just a few screws, right? And
yeah.
I think Fatboy was saying something.
And I posted a link to the one to buy from Amazon. I think it was like $20-$30 or something.
Yeah,
Came
I saw
with
that.
the heating element.
Yeah, it was $20-something. It was cheap. I'm excited to. What I really need to do is start printing those little cases for those ESP32 cams. I found a bunch of models on Thingiverse, and
I was considering buying them, but a lot of people are saying that you get like 1 frame per second with those.
It depends on, because you can set the resolution too. If you set it to like 640 by 480, then you get a pretty decent, maybe like 15 FPS. But if you try to do like a 1080p stream, yeah, it really bogs it down. So I want to do that. Been fucking with my blog, trying to get. I switched from. I was using a blog platform called Write Freely. You host yourself, but the only reason I was using it is because it's federated, like built in to be federated, so you can, whenever you post something, it goes to the Fediverse, like Mastodon and stuff like that, and but they don't allow JavaScript for some reason. Like you can't use JavaScript with it, so I couldn't have comments because every comment system I found, like it wouldn't let me add it to the website because it was JavaScript, And they said they do that for like safety issues, I guess. But a single user instance that you're hosting yourself, that shouldn't matter. Because they want you to sign up to write.as.as, which is their platform, which uses Write Freely, but it's also open source, so you can host it yourself. So they don't want you putting JavaScript into that platform. So they don't make it available in the open source version either. I guess you could hack it and add it, but anyway, long story short, I ended up going with WordPress, and they have an Activity Hub plugin. So whenever you post, or people can follow your blog from the Fediverse and stuff. If you go to tech.minnix.dev, I just started working on it. I took a theme that I
get enough of you twice a month.
Modified it, and I don't have any new posts on there, but it's basically what I had on the old blog. It's just redid the CSS and now I got comments. I think somebody already wrote a comment. Some smartass wrote he farted on there.
Yeah, maybe I will need to get that link. Pretty sure I can make smartass comments for everything that you wrote.
But here's the issue now. Like, I activated the activity pub plugin, and then it gives me a critical error on the website. You can't see the website. But if I deactivated it, like I have it deactivated now, you can see the website. So now I'm missing Federation, even though I got comments. It sucks, but I'll just have to troubleshoot it this week and see why that's not working. But if you go to like Hello World, there's like a test comment there, and I don't know who wrote lol, I fired it on there, but some. I'm going to delete that page anyway, so it didn't. But WordPress has changed a lot since I used it 15 years ago or whatever. Now it's I'm using it via Docker, Linux container, and I think I'm using like 300 megabytes of RAM with it, and super lightweight from what I remember, because I don't have to set up Apache and all that crap with it. It's all containerized now, and you could do a lot with it, and a lot of options and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying it.
Linux Lugcast is WordPress.
Yeah, and how do yours is on VPS, right?
Hostinger, yeah.
How do you have it set up? Was it available as an install from cPanel, or did you have to install everything manually?
Yeah, cPanel basically.
So
You say like Docker when you're speaking about Docker. Y'all can hear me?
you're
Yeah,
really
but you're
breaking
cutting
up.
in and out real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm new to this platform, but yeah, I know since you're talking about Docker, yeah. The funny part is that it's not corporately used or adapted yet.
But we can't hear. You're really breaking up bad. Like I don't know if it's a signal issue or.
He's using the web.
Kind of like, let me figure it out here. Like it's really bad, like breaking up.
Horrible.
Yeah. We can kind of hear what you're saying, but
it's robotic.
Sorry,
and it's cutting in and out.
Okay,
it's not your fault.
Are you using a microphone or your laptop or a phone or?
No, I'm just using my free laptop I got as a present.
I mean, is it just a built-in mic on the laptop?
Yeah, no, it should be decent. Here, let me figure this out. I'm gonna go on mute and I'll be back.
Okay. Let me see. Let me make sure that's actually working right. I'm gonna mute myself here. Try the web interface. Okay. Huh. I don't know then. There's always something.
Yep.
What about you,
Yep.
Eric? Any tech related stuff you've been doing?
I've been trying to figure out what to use on this Dell Latitude thing, and I know it's like a revolving door. I keep coming back to the same topic.
This the new one you got, right?
Yeah, I had Fedora on it for about 5 months, and towards the tail end of that, it got really slow. Like everything I did was excruciatingly slow. Opening windows, copying files, even input was laggy at points. And I did all of the like normal troubleshooting things and couldn't get it to work, and finally said, okay, that's enough time wasted on this. Because I don't use it that often. It wasn't like there was a lot of customization done that I was losing. So I've been trying different distros since then.
Have you tried Mint yet?
Well, Mint's not great for touch. So on a tablet interface, I haven't had good luck with it. So that's why I'm sorry.
What about Ubuntu with like the Unity interface or something?
I haven't tried Unity yet. I was actually going to test that because they just released the 2404 version. I mean, I don't know what kind of innovation, if any, there is in Unity at this point, or if it's just literally keeping it running.
What about
Plasma? Same thing. I tried it, and I had a lot of problems with the on-screen keyboard. Like it just refused to work properly. So right now, GNOME's the only thing that really works. So Ubuntu, I don't know. I keep getting weird issues with like regular Ubuntu. It randomly doesn't work well. I don't like that new installer either. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it's kind of, it's not really fully baked, I don't think.
Did you see that the new UB ports that came out that they have a desktop ISO for now?
They have a desktop ISO for UB ports?
Yeah. Really? It's called...
Oh, yeah. I did. It was just a news item today, like, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it just came out, but it uses Ubuntu Touch, I guess. Unity 8 on the desktop.
What about now? Can you all hear me good?
Woo! Same way. It sounds more like your network connection almost.
No,
I don't know if you're...
fiber, I have 2 gigs, so I hear y'all so clear.
Yeah, you sound like...
Hey, can you put your mouth like close to your keyboard where your mic is and talk?
Oh no, I'm using Bluetooth right now.
That's what it is.
That's probably what it is then. Yeah.
No, I used the built-in mic. It's a dusty laptop that I got as a present from corporate, and I used the mic. Y'all said it was crackling and it was bad, and I synced my headphones. But I'll go higher tier headphones. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna go mute. I'll be back with higher tier headphones.
Okay.
Or plug it, something that plugs in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I put it. Try this, Eric. I mean, not right now, but if you get a chance, it may work better for you. It's called Ubuntu Lomiri. Ubuntu touches mobile desktop for the PC. I put the link in the show notes.
Lomiri, that's cool.
It's 24.04 LTS with the Unity 8 UI from Ubuntu Touch. I wonder if that'll work for your Latitude there.
It'll probably be kind of janky.
Think so?
UB ports is still pretty janky.
It might be interesting just to boot to it, just to kind of see, like, because I would expect the touch experience to be Ubuntu touch experience to be more like an Android or like a smartphone
And I understand that, but most things that are geared the application wise for UB ports is all like weird web apps for stuff because it's
Okay.
geared towards the mobile.
So this
Gotcha.
isn't. I'm sorry, I made a mistake, Honkey. This isn't UbiPorts. This is the maintainer of Ubuntu Unity created a new regular Ubuntu spin, but just using the Ubuntu Touch web or the Ubuntu Touch desktop environment or whatever. They call it Lomiri now. It used to be Ubuntu Touch, but so he's still working on Unity, but he calls it Lomiri, and then he created a regular Ubuntu desktop ISO using Lomiri. So it's not UB ports.
Yeah, I mean, just
That may work for you. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, if I could just boot it from a USB thumb drive, and if it'll run a live session, that would be interesting at least. But yeah, I've tried OpenSUSE. I keep trying it's like every year I try it, and every year I'm like, yep, just not for me. And Arch, I mean, Arch is fine, but you know, it's like a box of Legos. You just have to spend so much time putting it together.
So what is your like?
Have you tried?
Kind of, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, have you tried like a Manjaro? I mean, I've used Manjaro for a long time. This laptop's been running the same install of Manjaro for quite some time, and I've never had to.
The issue
wipe it
that
out
he
or
has
anything.
is the touch interface.
Well, I was wondering about Manjaro with GNOME. GNOME is geared more towards touch, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
They
I've
have
tried
GNOME. GNOME is an official spin for it, so.
Yeah, what I need to do, I've done this before, is I need to try it. You install it, and then there's a way to remove all of Manjaro's custom GNOME stuff. Like, because that's the one thing about it I don't love is they have that like desktop switcher built in. They just have a bunch of kind of weird stuff that I don't really love the theme and stuff. So it's like, I remember there's a way that you can just tell it like, don't use any of the Manjaro customization, but that is a good way to use Arch. I do like doing it that way.
This one here, actually, I think it was originally, I don't remember what the hell it was originally, but I installed Enlightenment on it, and then Enlightenment doesn't have any of that other custom Manjaro stuff on it, so
Gotcha.
I don't see any of it there. I do on this one actually, because this one actually was running Cinnamon before, but now it's running a Plasma.
Eric, what I was going to ask you is, what is like your go-to distro just on a regular laptop or PC? What do you like?
I'm usually Ubuntu based, so I have used lots of different things. Right now on my laptop, I'm using Pop OS. I just
like it?
I do. I think their launcher that they designed is good. I like having a launcher anyway, and it's nice to have it built in first party. And I like the implementation of the dock, which I know is just dash the dock extension, but the way they again have it built into the settings. I like the tiling thing every now and then. I'll turn it on if I'm trying to do something that makes sense with having things like a tiling window manager approximation. I really like their performance stuff. So if under if it says fully charged or charging the entry in the menu, and you can choose if you have a hybrid hybrid GPU system, which I do. I have the NVIDIA and Intel hybrid. You can control it from there and tell it, what you want it to run. And then also they have a power profile of either battery life, balanced, or high performance. And unlike other distros where I've seen that available, this actually works properly for me, at least for this Dell laptop. So I like that. I used to love tinkering, and every time I had a problem on any of my systems, it was an opportunity to learn something. And not that I no longer am interested in learning. I just like to be more focused about it and not just have to be dealing with random issues that pop up when I'm trying to get something else done.
You want your day-to-day to be fine, and you want to focus on what you want to focus on.
Exactly. And so rolling distros or stuff like Arch that just require extra effort. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but just for me in my situation, like I was at Arch on this Latitude tablet, and I mean it runs fine. It boots super fast, it's really quick. But dumb stuff like, you install GNOME and it installs the Bluetooth service, but it doesn't start it. Like it doesn't have it enabled and automatic, set the auto start. So, I go to set up my headphones and trying to turn it, and it's the entry's still there, and it looks like you should be able to turn it on, but it doesn't turn on, and it's like, what is going on? So then you have to figure out, oh, okay, I just need to enable the service, and it's stuff like that. So again, I think there was a time in my life where that made sense and I enjoyed it, but that's not what I want now. So I tend to stick with Ubuntu stuff just because it's simply really turnkey. It just works. Mostly. Nothing's perfect.
Have you seen
happens, man.
well, you're using Pop OS, right? Do you ever use the tiling option in Pop OS?
Yeah.
Man, I saw a video of that the other day. I've never used it, but it looks awesome. All the improvements they've done to it.
Yeah.
Man, it looks so like intuitive, and I've never really given tiling window managers a big enough try, I guess, to get into them. But this is definitely something I would try, just because how easy it is to go from window to tiling, and man, it showed them moving the tiles around and stuff, and I was like, holy cow, it's so cool looking. But
I think the problem with normal tiling window managers is it's very much all or nothing. And yes, you can set certain windows to float. So there's kind of ways to still make it act like a floating window manager for certain things when it makes sense. But that's why I like the implementation of this. It's more, so that's tiling window manager breaking its own rule to then create and support a floating window, whereas this is the opposite direction. This is a floating window manager that is instituting a flexible tiling system that you can very easily use a GUI settings menu to say, which ones you want to have exceptions to, and how they should tile, and do you want border radiuses and gaps, and it's just really accessible, really easy to use. Where tiling window managers are generally a dot file, a config file, and it's pretty esoteric to like know what specific option you need to set and binding all the keys and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is it's much more approachable. I'm hoping that Pop OS is sort of the at least like philosophical expression of like what Cosmic is going to be. It may not be the same thing, but I do feel like Cosmic is probably going to have a lot of the same features. Maybe not at first, but eventually. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's really cool when a new desktop comes out. Like that's not a very common thing anymore, So.
No, it's not. And they've done a lot of work to it. Oh, is that you?
Yeah, no, this is Mo. Can y'all hear me now? Is it crackling? Is it doing some weird, funky stuff?
It's still pretty bad. Yeah, it's about the same.
Oh.
Can one of y'all test out the Lugcast web? Mute your mumble client?
I'm fiber, man. Like I'm legit fiber. I have three up, three down.
Oh yeah, I'm not contesting your connection. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying, like, I hear y'all crystal clear.
Is there, just out of curiosity, is there a way for you to try the Jitsi client? It runs as either an app image, or I think maybe even Flatpak, or if you're on Windows, there's a portable version.
They won't hear the audio in the recording though, because we don't.
Oh no, he's on Mumble. I'm sorry. I see this. I get confused because we use both. Sorry.
Like whatever works, y'all let me know. I'm new to this platform, so if I sound far away,
got it.
And the distance is, it is what it is. But I hear y'all like crystal clear, like bass, like I should put y'all on my surround system. Like it's so crystal.
Honky,
I hear you. But,
I'm gonna try the
Can
web.
That, like,
can you try
put
the
it-
web interface?
So, like, what do you guys hear? Like, is it far away? Is it crackling?
It's crackle. Every quarter second, like the audio is breaking up. So there's like these chunky like breaks in the audio.
Hang on, we're
that's
doing an
weird.
independent test here real quick, Mo, just to see if if the problem is on our end. Or I guess it would be my end.
No, it's whatever you're hosting on, whatever platform. And, no, I mean, like like I'm using Mumble right now and I'm using a direct link. If I should be using something else, let me know. I'll jump on that. Switch courses here.
When you say you're
I
using
just,
Mumble, are you using the web through the web browser or through like a client?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Okay.
No, like web browser.
So try it, Honky.
What's the URL?
lugcastweb.minnix.dev.
Like I used Mumble on the App Store on the like iOS and Android, and it kept crashing whenever I put the URL in. The URL in.
Oh well, the URL for the Mumble
And,
client is different than the one for the web browser. For
Oh
the Mumble
no,
client.
like, no, I put that to join
okay.
the connection that
I'm
y'all
just making
have
sure
here.
you use the right one.
So it joins the connection, and then the app crashes on Android, and then it crashes on iOS, and then the only reason I'm here is like I'm on Windows.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
fine.
saying? And I tried it on Mac too.
Oh,
So
it's getting
crazy.
better.
And I'm a developer, so I kind of know. And I blew the dust off my little Windows Surface that I got as a present, and yeah, I'm here now. But this is my Windows Surface that I'm talking to y'all on. So
Yeah, hang on a second. Honky's going to try it through the web interface.
All right.
yeah, like if there's an app or whatever, just let me know.
Are
I'll
you talking
go
to the
that
web
route.
interface, Honky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds
talking
fine.
through the
no,
mic on the laptop.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
That sounds
Okay.
pretty good.
You sure?
So, yeah, Honky sounds
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with your setup, buddy, but it's not working.
Yeah,
You said
send
you're
me,
on a
like, I'm doing
Surface,
one
so if you're on a Windows machine, then just install Mumble.
Okay. Let me try that. Because I just clicked the link that you provided, and now I'm here. And then I did the login, and all right, we'll do the App Store.
What else could it be, Joe? I can't think.
No, I think it's the App Store because maybe their domain is weak. Either that. So when I'm downloading, Mumble,
Yeah,
and then just paste that link and paste that link in, right?
lugcast.minnix.dev.
Yeah, that other one I sent you, Linux or lugcast.minnix.dev.
Dev. Huh. I'm trying to think.
On the App Store right now, and it's kind of like this is Monopoly right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it should be showed up as number one, because I said Mumble, and there's just a bunch of shit.
It's
that I
probably
wanna
it might not
click
be
on.
available through the App Store. You might have to go to the Mumble website, download the
Yeah,
executable.
exactly. Thank you.
But the web interface
That's-
sounds fine. I'm thinking this is not going to help. I'm thinking something else is going on, but I'm not sure what that would be.
No, I think you're right. The Mumble website. Because app stores are manipulative and they're opportunistic.
well, I mean, you said you could hear us fine, so it's something
No, I
else.
can hear y'all crystal. Yeah, I can hear y'all crystal clear.
Yeah.
Like y'all
Okay.
like the pace and everything. You're good. But when you hear me, it's like it's crackling and it's bad.
Yeah, you can actually go to the audio test room and stay in there until you get it sorted out if you want to, because you can hear
You'll be able
yourself.
to hear your own issue.
Yeah, you'll hear it just like we hear it.
No, I'm downloading, like you said, directly from the site. I'm going to go on mute, download this, but it's x64. Okay, we're 64 bits. We're getting the hood. I'll be back.
Okay, yeah, just move to the audio test room.
Yeah, no, like you said, dude, I'm going directly to the site, download it, and I'm not playing with the App Store anymore. False information App Store. But I'm going on mute. Let me install this, and I'll be back.
Okay. Mornsey, anything going on?
No.
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 What do you mean,
just
no?
No.
Got to be more to it than that.
I tried the web and I couldn't hear anything.
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling okay, a little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More follow-ups?
No, not till October.
October? Holy cow.
Yeah, they moved me from every 3 months, every 4 months, now every 6 months.
Oh, okay.
I hope that's because they think I'm doing good, not because the insurance company said so.
Yeah, I'm sure, don't you think if something they were worried about, they'd get you in there pretty quick?
I was battle with the paperwork monster doing.
We got a approval. The petition for visa is approved. So it's gone from immigration to the National Visa Center. I think that arrived in the mail last Friday. So we may hear something in the next couple weeks with a more definitive timeline. But she'll have to do our interview and medical tests, that kind of stuff. So that's the next phase. But there's a limited number of visas that they issue each year, so it could be 2 months or 2 years.
Pretty big span there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's dependent on.
Yeah, they're why people go the other way when they make it hard for people to do the legal.
What about you, Netminer? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I agree.
Any more Pi news?
Oh, there is some Pi news. I had my Pi 5 do a nuke and pave, so I've been set back some. Also, there's a weird bit about Pi 5s. The 4 gig Pi 5s have tested as noticeably faster than the 8 gig Pi 5s. They don't know why, but in benchmarks the smaller memory size has proved faster. Also, the Pi 5 now can install operating systems on blank storage from the internet, just like the Pi 4 has been able to do. So you can actually download stuff and it does a memory resident Pi imager, and it will install your operating system straight off the internet with a web connection.
Have you tried that yet?
I've not tried it on a Pi 5. I've done it on a Pi 4 here, where I put Pi OS Lite on it, but I haven't used that machine yet. What I just got myself is a couple of half terabyte laptop hard drives, which I'm going to be hanging off of my Pi systems as hard storage. I've had funky problems with relying on SSDs when a system goes flaky, and I've lost and I've had data loss. So I'm going to have old school hard storage available for backups, and to allow me to reload my system faster.
What about now, Joe? Can you hear me better?
That sounds really good.
Perfect. Yep, you sound perfect now.
Yep.
All right, good, Chibata. Anywho, so I wanted to talk about decentralization, right?
Well, hang on a second. You're starting to break up again.
What the hell?
Yeah, they're watching me. So I'll give you the product's name here soon. Like if it cuts up, it cuts up. But I'm only here for 5 minutes, and I'll figure it out. But I'm joining through the app Mumble. I put the URL in, and now I'm here, and hopefully it's better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm directly inputted into the laptop, so it's not Bluetooth. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to talk about, like, since this is an open discussion, right? That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I'm new to this forum, so I just want to know the rules and regulations.
Oh, we'll talk about anything.
All right, cool. So I'm talking about the Pico, which is a decentralized VPN. Little, like, it's tiny. It's like a lighter size. And basically, so my research, I already bought it, but I don't plug it in anymore because I did my little research. And it's basically, so your router that spews your Wi-Fi network 2.4, 5, 6 gigahertz, depending on your closeness, the faster your internet connection. So the Pico is a decentralized VPN, so you can plug that in via USB and your router if it supports it, and you can locate it on your router and connect to a different Wi-Fi network, right? And so this little device is crazy. So I don't plug it in because I'm not, I'm like maybe 30% knowledgeable about decentralized VPN. I'm not centralized. I don't pay for it. It's free for life, decentralized. And so you can rent out. So basically, once this little device is plugged in, you can rent out anybody, like Argentina, South America, whatever, North America, New York, whatever, South America, whoever's sharing with the Pico. So it's decentralized and it's not monetized. So this is a cool kind of spectrum to, drift about. And not like you're doing illegal shit. It's just like you're doing like whatever research, and you're seeing it, and it's very disturbing. But yet it's a lifetime VPN free. But decentralized, they use like the BitTorrent technology where they split. So BitTorrent basically how does it work? If me, A, B, C, D, E, F, G owns, like the same file, basically, we pirated it, right? And that's split into bits and megabits and whatever. So it's like, Mo wants to share, 1 megabit, we cap it off, and then it goes on. And so it collects bits. So BitTorrent kind of, hence the name BitTorrent, Bit Tornado, Bit Pirate Bay, BitTorrent technology, P2P, depending on what you want to share. So this is called decentralized BitTorrent. And so this is where the origin evolved from. And now they have VPN machines or little VPN devices that do this for you. Is that y'all share P2P, and it's kind of, you gotta look at the logs to really see what's going on. Is that whoever is using your IP address for whatever activity, and so it's kind of like a red flag for security. And if anybody knows anything about P2P, just let me know here. I'm still researching it, but this is the knowledge I have, and I want to share it. But it's a badass little device, but it's unplugged right now with me. Basically, it slows down your connection, and it shares like you're in a social network of P2P people that like to do the BitTorrent kind of thing. But no, BitTorrent, not piracy. BitTorrent is a network trafficking. And it's pretty cool to like learn and understand for just privacy, security, and so on and so forth. If anybody knows any information, just let me know. I'm like maybe 30% in on this, but it's called if you want to Amazon it or Google it, it's called the Deeper Connect Pico Pocket Size Wireless VPN Router, and it's decentralized, not centralized, decentralized device, lifetime VPN, but yet it's shared because why? It's decentralized. It's out there in the wild. And if anybody has any information, just share it in the thread. I thought this would be a cool conversation because, we're all IT people here, and, I know, a certain aspect, and y'all know, like combined, like a more broader, on decentralized and centralized.
Can you tell me what the name of it is again? You said it's called Pico?
I posted a link
Oh, okay.
in the in the
So
mumble.
it's called the Deeper Connect Pico Pocket Size Wireless VPN Router.
Oh, I see.
Decentralized
Okay.
smart portable computer. And this thing is very powerful. Like when we're talking decentralization, it's everything in our system today that when we go swipe a credit card and we go to the gas station, it's all centralized because I used to work for NCR. We can see everything you do, but we can't see what you bought. That's the vendor's responsibility for merchandise and whatever inventory management bullshit. But the banks, at the end of the day, when it goes through ACH, we can see that you did a transaction at 7-Eleven. Like we don't know if you bought pickles or you bought like Mexican Coca-Cola. We don't know that, but we know that you made a transaction there. And so this is a centralized system. You know what I'm saying? Like you're under the umbrella. But when you're a decentralized system, now is that sharing is caring kind of, BitTorrent, LimeWire, P2P, the government do not like. And so this device, what it does It used to be $400 2 years ago, but now it's like I think it's on sale for $190, whatever.
179.
Yeah, something like this. And the funny part is that this device is very it's decentralized and it's very configurable. It's not broken, jailed. It's very jailbroken, if that makes any sense. It's like it's very configurable. You can let it do whatever you want. If you want to go on YouTube, connect it to your little router, block ads, and you can watch YouTube videos. And that's what I've been doing with it, but I unplugged it for some reason because I seen some suspicious activity. You know what I'm saying? Because it's decentralized. That's something you got to worry about.
So,
And but no, you can block out completely like YouTube if you want to watch like Good Morning America or whatever. You can block out all their stupid pharmaceutical ads. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see if I understand it real quick. It looks like I'm just looking at it now. It is a blockchain powered device that gives you a VPN. How do you plug it in? You connect it how?
No, to
your router?
Just plug it into your router, and then there's software you download, and you can monitor it and see what it's pulling, what it's not pulling, what users come in. Remember,
it says it's a cryptocurrency miner.
No, you can use it for cryptocurrency. Yeah, no, you can use it for that too. But I don't. You can, like with the software, you can block all these randoms coming in. You get my flow? You can block them with the software. Like you can only use it for VPN specifically, and then you create users, or you can leave it open, decentralized, very decentralized, and it's I did blocking, and I just used it for YouTube. Like when I watch my cooking videos or whatever, I don't want to see ads. I hate ads. You know what I'm saying? And then when you watch Good Morning America, it's like there's ads. I don't want to see it. And so it skips the ads. Like I don't need to watch ads. It can do that. But the funny part is that if you want to use it for, I have a crypto account, a brokerage crypto account. I have a brokerage IRA account. But let's get into the crypto. The thing is that the software is very limited on when you decentralize it, because that's what it's made for. It's that lifetime VPN, but yet don't forget it's decentralized. And then, even though I block a bunch of people, what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, you're not using this for my, my connections, so on and so forth. And so I just create these particular walls where people need to make user accounts, and it's all baked into the software where you can do this. But yet I see a lot of traffic, and so I disabled the thing. But it does serve a function, and it's very good at this function. You know what I'm saying? I just think the software needs to be more updated and cleaned out. Is that where you can monetize anything that comes in? Not monitor, monetize. Really restrict, put rules on what you can and you cannot do with my decentralized network. You know what I'm saying? So, these little Picos, and you're going to see a lot of them. But this is kind of like the breadwinner. I think they're funded by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA uses them too. And a lot of GPUs are used for cryptocurrency. I'm an investor in cryptocurrency. Hopefully Shiba goes up. But moral of the story is that monetization is very important.
Hold on,
extremely
Mo.
important.
Mo, have you checked Shiba lately? It shot up for a while.
Yeah, no. I made $4,000. I have around 200 million Shiba. I bought it 10 digits below.
Hey Mo, can you go to the sound check room again, and because you're really cutting out in and out. It's very staticky. Just to the audio test room, I mean. See how you sound. You could just double click that audio test and you'll jump in there.
I'm on this deeper network website, and I can't really quite figure out.
So it's a VPN.
No, I understand what the device is supposed to do. What I'm trying to figure out is they're saying this lifetime access to this distributed node VPN network. I don't understand how it works, and they have like no information on what it is.
It sounds like Tor to me.
Maybe,
Sounds
but
like each of these nodes, like each of these devices that you buy acts as a node.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like a Tor node.
maybe, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I would think they would have some kind of technical information here, but they literally have nothing.
Yeah,
So,
I think you could do the same thing with Tor. How you go HTTPS to Onion and then back to HTTPS, and then you're basically decentralized because you're hopping nodes along the way. But I guess this is just an easier way to do it. I don't know. It's on the site they kind of harp on the cryptocurrency angle. I guess if you wanted a mine or two, and it does ad blocking natively and stuff like that.
yeah.
But that's what I think. It sounds
It's
like
like
to me.
it's almost like Danny was saying, a
Tor with a
Tor.
pie hole?
If Tor made a Tor box.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Tor with a pie hole.
I think so.
What is the cryptocurrency part of this? I didn't.
It uses blockchain technology, I think, for its encryption.
On the Amazon page, they say the first line is it's a cryptocurrency miner.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I'm a little skeptical here.
I'm sure it does what it says, but I think that
my-
you can do this on your own as well.
Yeah, I'm just kind of this whole 150,000 node network thing.
Too much hand waving, too little information.
Yeah.
Just saying. I that sense that I have whenever I'm looking at something, I'm like, this doesn't seem like it really works the way it says it does. Maybe it does. I don't know.
Well, it feels like a sales pitch. Is this?
I think what they've done is just built their own Tor-like network, and except they call it CDN.
Yeah, I mean, blockchain has nothing to do with encryption.
Maybe that's how the distribution part works.
I mean, blockchain's a ledger. I mean, it's basically just, yeah, it's like a distributed database essentially.
Yeah.
So this doesn't explain. That's all I'm saying. I just, if I go to a VPN site, they give you some sort of. I'm looking at the white paper on this, and it's mostly just. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the right frame of mind.
I think it's
Hand waving.
As crypto first, and then VPN second is kind of how they're marketing it. But why not just buy, like what Joe bought, a little pocket router, and set up a Tor node with that, or even IPFS you could do.
Guess what? You don't know who they're crypto mining for. You could be buying a crypto miner that mines it for this organization, whatever it happens to be.
Make yourself into a bot.
Yeah. I'm deeply skeptical of anything with crypto. I have a very strong bias. I will readily admit it. So.
There are a lot of crypto scams out there. But...
Yeah.
Come join our botnet. Make us some money while we charge you $200 to buy the box.
So, did you all buy your Trump NFTs?
And the shoes.
Are there any left?
You didn't see the gold
NFTs?
shoes?
I'm sure they'll make some more if you really want one.
Okay. That's good to know.
I want to talk about something, if y'all don't
Well,
mind.
No,
hold on a
please.
second. Where?
Oh.
Because I know Netminer was in the middle of talking
Oh,
before.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Netminer. You were talking about your Pi 5s.
Yeah, I've only got one Pi 5, but I plan on buying another one shortly for laptop work. I mean, for desktop work, they seem to be the right thing under my conditions. What I'm going to be doing is putting my downloads and stuff on plain old spinning disk so that if the SSD goes down or there's a hiccup, the stuff is on magnetic disk, which is less likely to be affected. I mean, I've had SSDs wiped by powering off at the wrong time. Personal experience, I don't know what happened, but I do know I looked at the discs and they were just wiped. I don't know whether it's something with MX Linux or whatever, but I'm just going to try to set up some better restoration stuff. Eventually, I may build a software RAD, but right now I'm just going to be working on basic backup and saving some of my saving stuff off the boot device. Also, I had been using a compressed RAM application, which swaps to memory, but swaps to compressed memory, to a compressed memory area. I'm no longer using that. So I don't know if that was part of my problem. There is something called ZRAM that's built into Linux that does your swap to a compressed memory region, but I haven't been able to get it really to work well. It's supposed to work well on memory limited machines, but I haven't been able to get it to work reliably. So I'm going back to straight swap, if at all. Also, I'm thinking about using Q4 OS as a lightweight server. It has both the KDE desktop and they have another desktop which is essentially KDE 3, which is supposed to be lighter weight. I want to try that on some of my on Pi 4s as a server working through an extra Go interface. I especially like that for my machines that are going to be single screen or no screen. Also, on one of my systems, I ran into I was using the Nala, which is sort of a parallel processing or a parallel downloading apt replacement. And I was using it through SSH, and evidently it didn't like that the machine that I was using it on did not have a screen plugged into it. So I have installed one of the dummy HDMI plugs. So that machine will have a dummy screen for any application that is looking for one. Actually, it seemed to want to open a desktop on my public IP, which didn't work, but it was upset. So I've given that machine a dummy screen so that further applications should work fine. But I finally found out why they have those plugs, and that sometimes, even when you're not using a real desktop, the applications are looking for it, and I'm satisfying that need.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to get a rebate on my property taxes midsummer, and that's probably when I will get my Pi 5 for desktop application. And then I'll have Pi 4s for server use, and I may make pairs where the Pi 4s handle the disks and the Pi 5s run the desktop and whatnot, and my and other experiments.
So, oh, are you still talking, Netminer?
Yeah, the one thing that I haven't done that I probably should do with this many Pis around is take my little Pi and run an apt cache on it that could save some download, speed up my updates and stuff by downloading them once to the cache machine, and whichever machine is getting updated, and then the others would update off the cache. Yeah, I'm out.
So, I wanted to talk about this because I'm usually not the kind of person that's like a techno alarmist or whatever about pending doom when it comes to technology. But there's something that I don't think any of us are really involved in, but like my social circle, like my friends, my coworkers, they all use this certain technology, and it makes them miserable. Like they're always miserable, and it's tied to this platform. It's not TikTok, but it just brings them misery, and they always are talking about it, how bad it makes them feel. You can tell that they're just pissed off, and that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because it just kind of affects me through my friends and stuff. But it's I don't know if you guys really have experience. I don't have experience with this, so this is kind of an outside view. But it's dating apps like Tinder and Bumble and stuff like that. Do you guys know anybody that use these apps? No?
No, you know what?
Yeah,
You
go
mentioned
ahead.
it. Sorry, I saw a video that must have been brought to YouTube Shorts from TikTok,
Mhm.
because they tend to do that. And it was like, excuse me, it was screenshots or captures of conversations that people had had on these dating apps. And I don't consider myself to be a particularly like conservative or like uptight or repressed kind
A
of
prude,
person.
yeah.
But man, some of the stuff on there is just so borderline, like,
Vile.
I mean, it's way beyond vulgar. It's way beyond obscene. It's way beyond like pornographic. It's just vile, some of it. It's like,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't imagine. I mean, the internet itself is already pretty toxic, right? And you see that everywhere.
That's an understatement.
Now, and now you have people, I mean, maybe not all of them, but a lot of these people are actually looking for companionship, or even if it's just something quick and, a connection with someone. And I just can't imagine the amount of like ugliness and toxicity that happens in those apps. Not to mention actually following through with it, and like, who do you end up with? And then I was thinking, like, is this really what young people do? Is like,
yes,
instead of
that's
meeting,
what crossed my mind too.
yeah, I mean, instead of like meeting someone through a friend or at a party or
Like
at some sort of
organically.
gathering, yeah, you're actually going there looking for someone, and then like you go and you hook up, and then like you just move on to the next person. Like, I don't know. It just seems kind of.
So, in past years, I would say people like us, I mean, not married in relationships, but more tech-oriented people would be more drawn to apps like this, just because it's technology but I think now it's pretty much mainstream. From what I was reading, is like, up to 50% of adults aged so and so use dating apps to meet people online now. And so I actually did research on this because why does this make people so miserable? So I did a little bit of reading and writing, and like I said, I don't use them, so I may be talking out of my ass. What I say may not be an issue at all. But I actually did a kind of poll, and I asked a couple of my male friends and a couple of my female friends to show me. First, they told me how they use the app, right? So my male friends would tell me they would, you open the app and they would go through and see what their interests are and things like that if they have a connection or whatever. And my female friends told me basically the same thing. They would see if they, and then I looked at how they use the app, and it wasn't anything like what they told me. It was basically they were lying to my face. And there's two different ways. The men, and now I may have this confused. I think swipe right on Tinder is a match, and swipe left is not a match, or vice versa. But anyway, the men in my unofficial research would just swipe like this. Dun 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 dun. Right. Match. Not even looking. And the reason they told me after I called them out on it, it says they never get a match or whatever. Never get a match. So they just match with everybody. They don't even look at their profile.
Play the odds.
Yeah, play the odds basically, and hope that somebody will message them back, and they say if they're attractive, then they'll message back too. But they're not even looking at the picture. My female friends are the opposite. They're going the other way. Left, unmatch, until they see an attractive picture. Don't even look at the profile. Don't even look at what these people are about, or if they're a serial killer or anything. And they didn't tell me this, but I watched them use it, and that's how they use it. So they both use it in different ways. So I would say my first point when it comes to online dating is the odds are probably not in your favor. When I look at how people really use these apps, the men are getting swiped, are getting rejected by these women who aren't even reading these profiles. So they're feeling like crap. Like, okay, I'm never getting a match, and nobody's even looking at me unless you're really attractive, right? Meanwhile, the women are rejecting everybody, and then when they do match with somebody, there's a large chance that that picture isn't even that person, or it may not even be a person at all, or that person may be a piece of crap because they're not meeting these people in real life. So when they do make that connection, they talk to this person, then they get what Eric was talking about as far as these screenshots go, is just total vile, vulgar, just soul-crushing conversation, if you want to call it conversation. So that would be my first point, is the terrible odds. The next thing that I looked up are the pictures that people put on these things, are they an accurate representation of who is making the profile? And what I've found through talking to people and what I've read online is the answer is almost a resounding no. If it a lot of times it's not even the person that they put a picture of.
That bad?
Yes.
I figured at the very least they just kind of doctor it up, or if you even look at some of your like friends and stuff on their Facebook profiles, half the time they'll do like the women will have like whatever,
like a million
full makeup, or
filters,
it looks like
filtered to hell. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think they're realizing that the odds are so bad that just to get somebody to talk to you, that you need to put a picture of a model or somebody, and then hopefully you can use enough of your personality so that when they see you, it won't matter. That's what's going through their head anyway. But that doesn't actually become reality. Go ahead.
I have. I don't use the apps, but YouTube Shorts is full of this stuff, and the percentage of females striking going right on these apps, it's a fraction of 1%.
Right.
Somebody did the math, and out of 6,000 matches, somebody's swiped right on half a dozen, something like that. It was
believe that. Yeah.
Also, what is happening is face to face, they're having meetups, and women go to the meetups, and there may be 2 or 3 guys that are in expensive suits, expensive ties, or whatnot, and then there's half a dozen guys that are average Joes. And when the cream of the crop guys, or what women think are the cream of the crop, high income, whatever, leave, the other guys are invisible. Absolutely invisible. And it's gotten so bad that guys are not showing up to these things because they know that they'll be shot down. Also, from what I understand, this is the same way that even the clubbing meetups are working. The guys who have the flash and whatnot, the top 5 or 10% are getting attention. The rest of them are if you approach a woman, you'd think you'd peed on her shoe. I mean, they're not only turning guys down, but the women are using their. If you approach them, half the time they try to turn you down in the most savage way. So, and then when these women get to 30 or whatnot, they're expecting guys to still be around, still chasing them for them to settle down.
Oh, okay. Let me butt in real quick. I didn't mean this to turn this into a rant against women in general, mainly against the dating app phenomena. So I just want to make that caveat.
Well, what I'm saying is that women are taking the kind of I'm all that from the dating apps and putting it into real world.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
So I'm saying the women who are getting all this attention from online, whatever, then they're going out and they're saying, gee, if I can get all this attention online, why should I settle for the guy, who's doing okay, but is not necessarily doing, he's, yeah, if you.
So you're thinking that they're, in their mind, their value is raised by what they experience through the dating apps, and they take this into the real world.
It's been proven that they do.
Okay.
Also,
yeah, I see your point.
Also, one of the things that these people, often young co-eds or whatnot, the guys that do get the attention, who are making 150, 100,000, 200,000, I mean, they go into whatever clubs or what have you, and yeah, they get the attention and they get the girls and whatnot, but the ladies also ignore the fact that when they're 30 or whatever, those guys will be going after this year's 22-some-year-olds, not the former 22-year-olds who are now 30. So a lot of these women are, they play the game, but they don't realize that just as they treat guys as dispensable, the guys who have the resources will be treating the ladies as dispensable, unfortunately.
All right. Now, if you're a 30-year-old woman listening to this, I think you're still hot. You're still attractive. So don't worry about your market value or whatever, or 40 or 50 or 60. We don't discriminate here. So.
Well,
ages of
the thing is that but oftentimes they believe that they'll get the same attention that they got at 20.
Right. I get that.
Also,
I'm hearing some red pill here.
Yeah, a little bit.
but the deal is, yes, guys are out there who would love to date you, but they may not be the guys that you're used to when you were younger. And people, if you keep your sights at the same level, you're going to be disappointed, and you're still leaving the good guys on the shelf.
All right, let's try to keep it to just the app part. I understand your point and what you're saying for sure, but I hadn't thought about how the app would influence a woman to act within the real world as well, you know. But that is a good point.
Do you think? Do you think, or anyone think that? I mean, first of all, it seems like it's a bit ironic that technology that's supposed to bring people closer together and allow collaboration and communication between basically anyone on the globe seems to have isolated people.
Yes,
in many cases.
Well, especially in this case, I believe. I think that it has, I mean, this is my own opinion. Now, there's probably studies that either refute this or back it up. I don't know. But when it makes it so easy to see people, strangers, complete strangers, and just, it's basically a digital meat market that you're browsing. And, oh, I like this one. I don't like this one. I like this one. Why would you even go and try to date in the real world if you have this at your fingertips? And why would you have put in effort towards an organic relationship or going to activities where you can meet people? Like we used to have singles bars, things like that, where it wasn't a rule, but it was just kind of implied that these people were single, or you know, they would have activities that you could go to for single people. Oh, go ahead. So even church activities.
You were single right now, right?
Kind of. I'm not in a really serious relationship, but
right. Have you ever had any luck in your? Have you ever gone to any of these things, like a club, singles bar, or most organic meetup places like that, and had any luck? Anything besides like, hey, mutual friends type of a thing, like, hey, this is, you know, Julie, she's a friend of a friend type of a things. Have you ever had any luck just like walking up to a stranger and just trying to start a conversation in any sort of a situation like that?
Yes, and it's not so much like going into a grocery store and finding somebody attractive like that, but definitely through activities, group activities, things like that I like to do. But I wasn't
somebody like it's somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah,
it's not like you going into a singles bar by yourself and like walking up to a complete stranger saying, "Hey, how are you? Can I buy you a drink?"
Yeah, I have done that as well, and not necessarily a singles bar, but just like a regular.
I haven't done that in like 22, 23 years, but when I was doing the bar scene, that was how I went home with women.
Yeah, it's same here.
You guys just got a lot more game than I did.
Look, I was in the military, so I was in really good shape.
I think the uniform and then probably the muscles and stuff probably helped you out a lot.
Well, no, I was still a scrawny. I was like 175 pounds.
Still
between 175 and 185 pounds. So it's not like I was like, you know, huge muscled. I was just fit.
So I've always been fit, and it hadn't helped me at all. Or I was at one time.
Oh God,
I was a skinny kid for a long time.
You've always had a shape.
Round.
Well, it is now, all right.
I kind of feel like contrived setups where it's like either, you know, a singles bar or something that is like aimed at coupling people up tends to be just, it makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah. See, and that's where I felt the least amount of pressure is when I was in a situation that wasn't meant to be. Right. This is where people are going to meet. Right. And then I was able to more be like myself and you know, really turn people off that way.
Right. Because if someone's looking at you, but if someone's looking at you as a potential mate, there's a lot of heavy scrutiny there that's going on, but that's happening without even your input, right? It's very one-sided. Exactly. Whereas if you're just at a function and or you're at a friend's house or whatever, and you're talking, to different people, and it's not just so focused, like I have to pair off with you and now we're going to pretend and, get to know each other. If it's relaxed, then yeah, you have a conversation. Then there's sort of a two-way thing going on, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is a really interesting person, and
And I think that's where you're going to find like a relationship where you actually have things in common because you were able to start a conversation with each other without any kind of external pressure. And I think that's where you find those really deep connections too, is in situations like you're talking about, Eric, where you're not pressured or pushed into meeting somebody.
Sure, but is it what they want? Yeah, because maybe people just want.
Sorry, one of the things is that people aren't making that kind of connection. They're not going to church suppers or what have you like they used to. Mm-hmm. And people are not getting, everybody is isolated,
Yeah, I think that goes back to Eric's point about a technology that you would think would bring people together has actually isolated people more as far as like personal interactions, maybe not so much meeting people around the world, but just like face-to-face conversations and things like that don't happen as often, probably due to online culture.
Sure. And how many times when people today are in a face-to-face situation, they get an alert on their phone, and suddenly the phone has priority over the person you're in front of.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. I see people that I talk to, and I'm just like, have you ever never heard of like, manners or anything?
I think it's easy.
Etiquette,
Right.
I think for especially for us that are a little bit older, we had to evolve or develop a decorum around those devices, right? I mean, we knew that it was rude sort of inherently, whereas it's so normal for most people, let's say 35, 30 and younger,
mm-hmm.
To just be on your phone.
It's been normalized.
But I can remember going to dinner with my family when I was in IT and had a pager or I had a real reason to be checking it, not just like wasting time, and getting that look like, what do you think you're doing? You can't do that at the table. It's rude. And I just don't think that really exists anymore. But I mean, even my wife will do it sometimes. I'll be talking to her and she'll just pick up her phone because something buzzed. And
well, I have family members that do the same thing.
What happened to Eric?
Oh, he froze for a little bit. Still frozen.
So,
it's just like,
what is?
There you go. Blinking in and out, buddy.
Okay.
Heck, I do a lot of YouTubing, and the YouTube creators, whatever they're fixing or whatever, you always hear the phone in the background.
There you go, Eric. We see you now.
Do we?
Yeah, you can't see it. I see him.
I see the same frozen picture.
Oh,
no,
he
it's
came
moving
back
around. It got a little choppy there for a second.
Yeah,
but
it's
moving.
a little bit choppy.
So, what is the difference between, besides just the face-to-face, between like a Tinder and like a singles bar?
Okay, I'm glad you asked because I got a couple of more points.
Oh boy, here we go.
I did some research
because it seems like that's basically the same idea. It's trying to
You would
force
think
people
so.
in together, right?
But there's some nefarious shit going on here that I did some research on and I found out about.
Well, hold on a second. What?
Okay.
Before you launch into this,
Okay.
and I'm excited to hear what that is. Just what made you deep into the online dating scene?
It's because I think because I'm an outsider but everybody I know
Loneliness.
is using this technology. No, I mean an outsider when it comes to
Really?
like online dating. Yeah, I just don't do it. You know, I've never. It's never held an attraction for me, mainly because I think it's dehumanizing. But everybody I know, even people my age and older, are even my dad. He met his girlfriend through an
Did he?
online dating service. He actually
Really?
did.
Which one did he use though?
Oh, it's probably some kind of silver, you know, for old people or whatever. But he has slim pickings because he lives on an island, you know, on South Padre Island, and so there's not a lot. The dating scene
Tinder.
down there is not exactly for, you know, popping. In other words, unless you're a spring breaker or something, you know. And he's in his late 70s. So, oh shit, did Honkey just?
No, I
crash?
just reset it.
Oh, okay.
Because
So,
Eric had been frozen, so I just decided to reset it.
So anyway,
Sorry.
so yeah, that's why, because and it doesn't bring them joy. It brings them absolute misery in the majority of cases.
Is your dad miserable? Didn't he
no.
find his girlfriend there?
He found his girlfriend there, and he is an outlier. Now, I'm not going to say what I think about his girlfriend in a public forum like this. I'll tell you after the show, and what my whole family thinks about it. But anyway, so that's what it was. Is I was just curious, natural curiosity, why people are attracted to this technology, and why do they keep using it when it makes them freaking miserable, men and women. Even though the women get all these matches, let me go into that real quick. So. There's something that I learned about called adverse selection, and what that means is it's a dating app starts up, they get all these users, and at one time, right? And then the men, you know, and a lot of the users are sincere, and they're looking for real relationships and love and maybe marriage and things like that. But eventually, what happens is they become so disgusted with what Eric was talking about, these messages they get from men, you know, the women do, looking for hookups or looking for just straight sex or looking for something real kinky or something. And what I read, a lot of the men are getting redirected by bots or by women to OnlyFans sites or starting conversations and then start asking for favors like money and things like that, and to buy them things. And so you get these people that are just kind of regular Joes, like what Netminer was talking about, and the women that are just looking for relationships that get disgusted with these dating sites, and then so they log off. So what do you have left? You have basically scumbags, men, and you have women who are users and just want to are on there to spread their OnlyFans or to ask for money, and then a new user comes on, and then they're bombarded by these crappy messages and by these, just terrible people, and then they're miserable. It makes them miserable. You know, they don't find a good match. So that was a theory called adverse selection, and apparently it plays a pretty big role in dating apps. Now, what will happen is a new dating app will come on the scene, and a bunch of new people will go, and then adverse selection goes away, and then over time it happens again. You're left with all the lemons on this dating site, and so any new people that join are going to be faced with a shit show, basically. You know, when it comes to trying to find a good person online.
Is the internet then?
Also, I've seen this elsewhere. When I was working as a security guard, I used to use telephone chat lines because there'd be somebody there 24/7. And
like a party line, right?
Yeah, party line like that. But the deal is, they also go toxic like that because for the same reasons. A young something will come out, or somebody who says they're a young something, and they will get mobbed, and you hope you can talk to somebody, or at least I did back in the day. And then But what you're saying is a lot of people are on these things basically they play it like the lottery. They hope that they're going to get the big win, even though 99.9 out of 1,000 they don't get any attention, or they don't get any positive attention.
Just like the lottery, right?
Actually, dating apps make the lottery look like a good investment.
So what is it about? Is it human nature that leads us to, as you know, these conclusions where things start out optimistic and people are interested in trying to have legitimate
Yes.
conversations, connections?
It is human nature. Humans are shit.
But so it's the people that like are just vile and disgusting and will send random strangers really foul stuff. Like, I just don't know what motivates people like that to behave the way they do. Is it just mental illness? Is
Well,
it?
I think it's a minority of people. I will say it is a small minority of people, but it's a very loud minority. And like they say, the squeaking wheel gets the grease. And these are people that make their voices the loudest by posting the worst crap they can and messaging as many people as possible. And it doesn't even have to be a dating app. A lot of technologies have turned out were supposed to be used for good reasons and turned out to be exploited or used for bad reasons, you know. I think that happens a lot with technology, and I think it is human nature to a point where it's certain humans that have that nature, whereas the majority, I would think, are actually good people, you know.
Well, it's just like we just went through the Pride month or whatever. The majority of people with alternate sexual interests, shall we say, are quiet.
Joe.
But the ones that get all of the press are the ones who are flaunting everything or anything. And those are the ones who make the impression, not the guy who quietly puts
Just
on
lives his life.
Interesting clothes on weekends in his own home.
Well, I've seen people like decide that they hate an entire country because, you know, they met someone from there who turned out to be an asshole, or they read a news story that might not even be true about somebody from that country or something that happened. You know, some people are just easily influenced and biased towards the minority, you know, and that happens a lot. All right, let me put in this point real quick. I thought this was interesting. 45 of the top dating apps are owned by one company, and that's this company called Match Group, LLC. So, if you think that the tactics used on one app are going to be different on another app, as far as you will have better luck, you're probably wrong, because they're all owned by the same company. They're all using the same algorithms, and this company exists to make money. And so what happens when somebody finds somebody they're attracted to and they hit it off on an app and they stop using the app? Well, those people are no longer being served ads by the application that they were using. They're no longer a part of this online dating sphere. And it's in the Match Group's interest that you keep using the app. So this is just my conspiracy theory, but I would say that because it's in their best interest that you keep using the app, you keep being served ads, you don't uninstall it from your phone, that it's in their best interest to get you close to what you're looking for, but not to make an actual connection, not to connect you with somebody that you would fit really well with, because you don't lose one customer, you lose two customers every time that happens. Now, this isn't backed up by data. This is just my conspiracy theory, but it makes sense to me that they want to keep you on the line as long as possible so that they can continue to make money off of you. And plus, a lot of them even have premium services now where you pay to get noticed more often by people. And I don't know, maybe that's just conspiracy.
Also, that means that they have no reason to block the assholes.
What do you mean?
They have no reason for someone to say, avoid this guy because of XYZ. They have no reason to police themselves. Because the nastier the environment, the more people aren't going to make the connection.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, but I would think they want to control it at least somewhat, so that you don't just drive people away. So I've got one more point, and this is probably relevant to everybody here, and that's the privacy aspect of using online dating services. I don't know if y'all saw this. There was a news story that came out recently about Grindr, which is the gay dating app. Releasing the HIV status of users to third parties so that they could advertise to them. Not only advertise to them, but they were sending them mail for HIV drugs, HIV treatments, HIV doctors, and these users were seeing the sudden uptick in all this mail relating to a disease that supposedly only their doctors knew they had, but also the application knew they had it. So you got to remember that anything you post through these applications, whether it's personal conversations, things like that, these go in a big database, and it may not be an individual person that's reading your secrets and things, but they're definitely being used to not only target you for advertising, but to build, profiles on people so they can better manipulate you through the dating apps and things like that. So I think that's for me, that's the biggest worry as far as like using any kind of technology where I am encouraged to divulge personal information about myself. I would say would be the privacy aspect. So anyway, I took a deep dive into the whole dating app thing, and that's what I came up with. So these are my reasons not to use a dating app. Now next time I want to get, so I am discouraging you from meeting people through dating apps and things like that. I want to give what I think, we don't really have time tonight, but what I think are the best places to meet people who are like-minded nerds and stuff like us in real life. Where I have had the best luck and where I've met a lot of really good people, not just for relationships but friends as well. So I'll save that for next time.
Well, the important part is that the founder is now a billionaire.
Of course.
So he made his American dream come true.
Off the misery of others.
Apparently the only independent dating app, at least as of this article, was Bumble.
Really? So that's the only one that's not open or owned by Match?
Yep.
That's crazy.
And it's because they have a history of the guy that owns Bumble apparently doesn't like the person that owns Match Group LLC or whatever. So, but I mean, does that mean Bumble's any better? I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, I think they all use kind of, I read another article. It's not as relevant, but it was talking about algorithms that these dating apps use, turning it into like a gaming experience, almost like a game to gamify the dating scene, so that they continue to send you notifications, and they'll be like, it won't be clear exactly what the notification is trying to tell you, but like it could be a match, it could be something else, just to get you to click on it. So they make it intentionally kind of mystifying,
obscured.
Yeah. So just so that you will continue to enter the app, and that's another kind of addictive behavior that they program into these algorithms as far as dating apps go. I'll put a couple of links into the show notes too, articles I read. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because it's brings so many people misery in my social circle that I really wanted to try and understand, like, number one, why, if this makes you so miserable, why are you continuing to use it? And number two, what is the reason that it's making you, why is it making you miserable? So, and
well, it's literally the de facto standard now.
It is.
I mean,
it's totally normal. I remember when this first started, people were embarrassed to say that they met each other online. Now it's like it's normalized. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I've been on several of those. I was on stuff that was social media that became dating stuff. Back when MySpace was new and things like that. Right. I tried finding pen pals online because I wanted to meet and talk to people around the world. When you mentioned Bumble, I tried to meet friends on Bumble, and there are a lot of women on there complaining that men aren't contacting them, and it's literally that's the whole point of that.
Yeah, Bumble,
service
the women have to contact the men first, right?
Yeah,
isn't that their angle?
Yeah. So I mean, there's people on there that don't understand that that's how it's set up. But yeah. Elle and I actually met on Tinder. We were looking for people from somewhere else in the world just to talk to.
Yeah, I remember trying like chat roulette way back in the day for that same reason, because I thought, this actually seems like a really cool way to just randomly talk to people from all over the place. And for a while, it was actually...
Yeah, no, I saw Daniel Tosh doing that live on his show.
Was it Dicks Everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while, when it first came out, I think this goes along with what we've said about the dating apps and, Netminer talking about the chat lines. Like, for a while, chat roulette and those types of services were actually pretty on the up and up. Like, they're, but the first time I flipped through and then saw a guy with his junk out, it was like, okay, I think I'm done with this. So,
balls.
Oh, the whole package, baby. But yeah, and it was just like, I get that there's always going to be a certain percentage, but I don't know, it sort of ruins it once that happens. So
didn't one of them shut down because of closing minors to stuff like that? Was it Omegle?
Omegle, I think.
Yeah.
But I this isn't meant to be like I'm better than other people, but I tell my wife all the time. We met when I was 22, maybe. And I really, at that point, had only dated people from my small town that I had known, or a few people that I had met through friends when I went to college and stuff like that, or at college. But like, I never had to deal with dating as an adult, quote unquote. Because I mean, when you're in early 20s, you're still basically, you're not who you're going to be later in life normally. Anyway, but yeah, I've never, as an adult, had to try to meet a match or a partner. And I think the challenge for me would be that I am sort of really set in my ways and who I am and what I like and what I don't like. And not that I'm inflexible, but I certainly have strong preferences now. Whereas when I was younger, like, I feel like I was up for kind of new experiences, new adventures. Like, I wasn't so like, yeah, I don't know if that's just an age thing, but yeah, I feel very lucky to have not had to deal with, any of this, frankly. So, but I think that I don't think that my personality fits something like a dating app anyway. So I think I would have always tried to, meet someone through work or events or something in person. It's like buying a car online or buying. And I'm not trying to necessarily directly equate these things, but I like to, if I'm going to make a commitment like that, I would like to think that I would have some amount of time. Well, that definitely does not translate. But yes, something to that effect where I have some familiarity with yeah.
That what you said about how your personality doesn't fit this type of format. That reminds me that we talked earlier about catfishing and photos that aren't you or photos that have been heavily filtered. There's a ton of websites I found that you just copy and paste openers to people and replies to their questions. That these sites are made especially for people that don't know how to have a conversation, that don't have social skills. And so when you meet in person, the girl or guy that you meet is going to be talking to somebody completely different than who they thought they were talking to, personality-wise. Now, looks is another deal, but still, there's just so many ways to fool other people on these apps that I think it's best just to stay away, Now, I'm not saying the internet isn't a good way. The internet itself isn't a good way to make friends. Like, we've all made friends through the internet and things like that. But I'm talking about the way these apps operate, specifically the way they gamify things and the underhanded tactics they use to keep people engaged and stuff like that. But anyway,
yeah, it kind of dehumanizes too. I think
it absolutely does. I mean, that's why I've never been attracted to any kind of apps like this. You're basically just a meat market, and especially seeing people actually use it on their phone, the way they use it compared to how they say they use it is completely different, So, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone use any of those apps. Although
I'm surprised you haven't, because you're in the IT world too, and it's especially prevalent from my experience with people in the technology sector to be more likely to use apps like this than meeting people through, organically or in person.
Yeah.
Honkey.
Now, we're running a little long here.
You want to get into the movie real quick?
Yeah. I'd like to hear your opinions of it. I thought it was cute when I saw it back in the day, but I haven't seen it recently.
You want me to give the overview, or do you want to, Joe?
Joe wants to.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so we picked a movie from 1995 called Tank Girl, starring Lori Petty, Naomi Watts, Malcolm McDowell. And the scenario is I don't really know what led to the dystopia. Was it a bomb that dropped it? I didn't
Comet.
Oh, comet.
Comet.
Okay. And so you're basically in 2033. It's a dystopia, and everything is desert, and the water on Earth the market on water has been cornered by a corporation called Water and Power. Is that right?
Correct.
Very generic name. And so they want to control everything, and there's still one sector that they don't control, which is a tiny sliver of land, but has a ton of water underneath it. And so the story is basically about a kind of a group of rebels who are going up against this giant corporate conglomerate. And there's also a group of mutants who have been turned into what they call super soldiers by manipulating human and kangaroo DNA, I think.
It was a couple of different DNAs, actually.
A couple of different ones. And this is based on a comic book by the same name, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
That's correct.
And I really would like to read that comic because...
there's several. They're good.
It looks good. But so this movie is basically about that conflict between all three parties, and it's got a lot of cool tunes that Joe alluded to earlier. It's definitely
Very
of its time.
grunge.
Actually, this is almost like an '80s movie to me, with the kind of outlandish, fun of the movie, and how it's goofy and zany and everything like that, and I
sort of Earth Girls Are Easy type
Yes.
of.
Yeah, it's it definitely doesn't take itself seriously. I wouldn't call it a just straight comedy. It's got a lot of action. It's got some gore and stuff like that in it too, but it's mild, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I think if you're looking for like a fun popcorn movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, it's got some cool cameos in it, and I really like the animation in it. I don't know who did the animation, but I thought that was awesome. It reminded me a lot of kind of the Burt Bakshi stuff, or Ralph Bakshi stuff, I mean, and I like the comic book panels as well that was interspersed throughout the movie and stuff like that. So that's kind of the outline of the movie.
Is it based on a comic?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one quick thing is I liked all of it minus the splattering of the comic book panels.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I liked it to a point. There were times when it was just a little bit too much, and some of it didn't seem to have anything to do with like what was going on or anything. They just threw it in there and kind of, well, yeah, it kind of did, kind of didn't, and it was a little bit much. And it looked
What'd
like
you think
there
about
would
the
have been a
actual
lot of
animation
story.
part?
There was like a lot more story with the other girl there and stuff. Or I feel like there might have been like more backstory with that girl just from some of the few panels that I've seen. But
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like the movie. I like the movie. It was a fun movie. But some of the
Yeah, it's
and
not
like
a perfect movie.
the splashing of the panels, the posing of the posing, just posing. I think she spent like part of half
lot
the
of
movie
cheesing.
just posing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it was fun. Sometimes it was okay. Can we just keep it moving?
Now, what do you think about the animation that was interspersed? Were you cool with that, or was it
Yeah, it
just
was
the comic
fine.
book panels?
It
I
was just
thought it was really neat. I just like that style they used. Now, I will say this. I think Lori Petty was perfect in this cast in this role. But if I had to spend 10 minutes with this person in real life, I mean the person that she's, oh my God, I would definitely jump through a window with a rope around my neck while I'm on fire or something. It would just be, it would drive me crazy. But I thought she was a lot of fun for the movie itself. What about you guys?
I agree.
I mean, considering the age I was at the time when this movie came out, I was in love with Lori Petty.
Did you watch it again for the show, or do you just remember?
Absolutely did. I mean, because it's been a really, really long time since I've seen the movie.
Yeah. Does it hold up to
absolutely
what you remember? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it does. I think I've seen it too when it came out. I think I saw it in the theater actually. It's been so long, but yeah, I don't remember much. But seeing it again, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think it's that they don't really make fun type of movies like this with this kind of zany, just anything goes, very colorful. It's not like all brown and stark and gritty or anything. It's the opposite of that, and I really like that.
Well, you got to think that instead of like your average movie montages where like they're doing the coloring of or the painting and the decorating of the tank,
yeah,
they spice it up a little bit and add those comic panels that Honkey hates.
Well, it was just seemed excessive at times, and it was like the painting montage went on for a while, and then the posing, then the posing on top of the tank for a while, and then there was just keep it moving at some point,
The whole game was excessive, but that was kind of the whole movie was excessive, and that was kind of the point of the movie.
It was definitely an exercise in excess. I agree.
But all that being said, I still liked it, and it was a fun movie.
I really liked it.
I enjoyed watching it.
It wasn't a tech movie, but it had cybernetics, it had holograms, it had jets. VTOLs. Those were VTOLs. Had genetically modified creatures. It was a tech movie.
I did like those costumes and the makeup. I liked that their ears were kind of like could move on their own, and they put a lot of work and effort into those. It
And you
wasn't
could
just a
still
rubber
tell
mask.
that Ice-T was Ice-T.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that was cool. I would have never seen Ice-T playing a genetically engineered kangaroo human super soldier, but here we are. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Everybody thumbs up. The 7 of us, including Netminer. All right.
Not as good as Weird Science, though.
Well,
yeah,
different.
okay. I would argue with you, but you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Wow. I'll forget the theme. We'll do that for the... It is... have we seen this already? Arcade from 1993.
Yes, we already
We
saw it.
watched that.
Yeah.
Watch that.
Guess it wasn't marked off. I thought we had seen it. All right, well, let me try it again. How does it keep... Okay. Cyber Seeker from 1993. We didn't watch that, did we?
Not that I
don't
recall.
think so. Is Cyber Seeker 2 words or 1?
2 words. You mean there's more than one Cyber Seeker?
No, I... wondering how they spelt it.
It says, Samuel Roth is a seeker of truth in a time the world is decimated by a viral strain known as the Reaper. Set after if killed the majority of the world in 2013. Very weird wording.
Did you see the box art?
Oh, wow.
You got to look on IMDb.
High tech. Man, this is something I would have made in 3rd grade with GIMP or something. I would have thought it was the coolest thing in the world. That's awesome.
That is, I mean, if that doesn't make you want to watch it, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make me want to watch. You're right.
Don the Dragon Wilson isn't in it?
Oh, he's not? Well, we can't watch it
Cyber
Right?
Seeker, is that what it was called?
But it does have
Yeah.
Joe Estevez.
Yes.
One word?
No, 2.
2 words.
2 words. 1993.
Samuel Roth is a seeker of truth in a time the world is decimated by a viral strain known as the Reaper.
I'll read that second sentence. Does it make sense to you?
Set after if killed the majority of the world in...
I think it's supposed to say it.
It.
Set after it killed the majority of the world. So it's post-apocalyptic.
Oh, 2013. The crazy
it
apocalyptic
spoofs-
time.
It spoofs Escape from New York.
But you guys
All
remember
right, I love that.
2013, how crazy it was, right?
I do.
During the viral strain known as the Reaper.
2013 was a crazy time.
Oh, boy.
I think I spent most of 2013 drunk.
Oh, well, it was a
Yeah, but
crazy
you
time.
did that in 2023 as well.
And 2024.
No, 2023 I had responsibility. Actually, 2013. 2013. Nope, wouldn't have been because that was the year after my daughter was born. So I wasn't
would
sleeping.
have been 10.
I wouldn't have been sleeping at that time.
Do we have any idea where to watch this?
I'll have to
Or
track
what?
it down and put it in the Matrix chat. I don't see it on Tubi. I bet it's on YouTube.
Probably.
You think?
yeah.
Might be on Plex somewhere. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Let's find out.
What about our man Vintage Action? Does he have it?
Oh wait, yeah, Cyber Tracker. No, Cyber Tracker. Never mind.
Yeah, so we saw Cyber Tracker already. That's a classic.
I mean, searching for it on YouTube doesn't. There's a 3-minute clip, but that's it.
Yeah, that's what I see too. Yeah, this must be a very rare movie indeed.
Well, if you hover over the thumbnail and even without sound, I can see how well this is acted.
You can see the production value.
I can.
I can't find it on any streaming services.
I'll have to track it down. I'll have to cyber seek it out. How you like that?
Oh my!
It's out there somewhere.
Pathetic. That was good. That was good.
Nicotine?
Yeah. I'll post a link to it in the Matrix chat when I find it, unless you guys can find it first. I didn't do a drum roll. Oh well, I'll do that next time.
Well,
Just dropping them all today, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Sorry, I was trying to find something on YouTube. Sorry, Netminer. Go ahead.
I don't know about you young fellas, especially those of you with young ladies, but I'm running out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty beat.
All right. When is our next recording?
Well, are we doing a week from now on the third week because we skipped a week, or are we gonna?
Next week?
Yeah, it'd be next week, next Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
that'd be
fits
the
the first and third. Yeah. Oh, you're right. That's the first. Dang. May
the
already.
first?
Ugh.
Is that May 1st?
Yeah.
No.
No?
May 1st is like Tuesday or Wednesday.
What's the date?
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Okay.
I think you need to put this in the show notes.
Honky, listen up. Do your job.
All right. So our next recording date will be May 3rd, 2024. Our music is Downright provided by Klaatu and Broam. Finally, we'd like to give thanks. We'd like to thank Minnix for the use of his mumble server.
You can give thanks.
Give thanks.
Bow down and give thanks.
Oh man. Okay, I've been your host this evening, Honky Magoo. With us tonight has been Eric.
You're muted.
We can't hear you, Eric.
Sorry. Everybody have a great week instead of 2 weeks.
Joe.
Good night.
I'm not saying goodnight to Lugbot.
Why? Please.
Fine. Good night, Lugbot.
What do a nearsighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common?
Oh man, he really messed that up. Sorry. All right, look what else.
Good night, Danny.
Good night. Good night.
Lauren C.
See you next week.
And Netminer. Everybody.
Good night. Talk to you later or earlier, whichever works.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. Good night.